Every solar and renewable and wind project in this country gets subsidies from the government and from the taxpayer. So I could make the same accusations that Sarah is just sucking up to investors in the renewable industry and covering for them. I want a more intelligent debate than that. I want a debate around the fact that we are committed to reducing emissions by the OECD average around the world. Now, that isn't good enough for Sarah. That isn't good enough for the Labor Party. They want to cut emissions faster than any other country in the world. When you take into account the three biggest emitters aren't signed up at all. They are playing economic vandalism with our country. That is being shown through the big bailouts that are needed from big industry around this country, and indeed the household bills of families. They are going up because renewables are unreliable, battery technology isn't there for it to be reliable, and therefore also makes it very expensive. So they are in a fantasy land about what they want to create because the technology isn't there. The plan that we've announced... You're going
pro-nuclear. You want the taxpayers to fund nuclear. Talk about fantasy land.
Who's funding all the renewable projects? Tell me a renewable project that hasn't had taxpayer-funded subsidies. Tell me a project that doesn't get subsidies from the government for renewables. How are we going to fund the 120 billion? How are we going to fund the 120 billion new transmission system that renewables need, Sarah? The new generation
Kevin, when you tell me
needs new transmission lines, needs new poles and wires.
Taxes are going to be, when you tell the Australian people how high their taxes are going to be to pay for new coal, as Melissa McIntosh has now announced today,
how are the lights going to stay on at night when the wind isn't blowing, Sarah? How is big industry going to keep powered when the lights are out and when there's no wind and there's no sun? How are we going to keep the lights on,
Sarah? The business groups are laughing at the coalition now. They're in dismay.
And so are the business groups who are funding renewables, Sarah. Love your policies.